Welcome to Bucks Weekly, the first edition of the 2022-23 school year. We apologize we haven't been able to do a lot of Bucks Weekly segments over the last couple of years. A lot of that was due to the COVID pandemic and restrictions on things like that. But we're sitting here with second-year coach Austin Morgan, and he's coming off of a 1-9 season last year, which was a growing season. And he has a great group of kids that have really been working hard. And Austin, can you explain the off-season program and the strides that these kids have made over the off-season?
Yeah, well, first of all, thanks for having me here, man. I'm glad to do this again. These are pretty cool. So, yeah, our off-season program, we've been lifting 3 days a week since December, and it's been awesome. Last year we kind of got the weight room going the right direction, and it kind of took off this off-season. We've had a lot of guys show a lot of leadership in there because we lift at 6 a.m. and it's kind of hard to do at times and get up early, and but the kids have responded so well to it. They all show up to the weight room, and they really want to get better, which is cool. We talk about a want to versus have to mindset. A lot of kids do things they have to do things, but we want kids here to do things because they want to do things the right way. And that want to mindset has been kind of infected into our weight room, and it's been really cool to watch. So yeah, we've been lifting since December, 3 days a week, and our numbers have just shot off the charts. I mean, we got some strong kids. We have a lot of young guys this year, so we have young guys doing weights that most young guys don't usually do because they put the work into it. So it's been really cool to watch. Those guys are grinding their butts off in there.
Well, it's kind of cool. I came in and did some videos of some of your workout sessions, and a few things that I noticed is the transformation of some of these you mentioned young kids, some of their bodies, and a couple of kids that really stand out in my mind is Jack Blumenstock and Garrett Listener. I mean, those kids, they look totally different than what they did last year. That's the first thing I noticed. The second thing I noticed is your workout sessions. There's a lot of variety in the workouts. It's not all just the same thing, pumping weights. You do a lot of core strength, a lot of speed, agility, and things like that. Can you talk about that?
Yep. We believe in building kind of the whole athlete, and not necessarily a football player, but I think better athletes that are faster, more mobile, can play better, and in all sports too. And it's been cool to watch. You mentioned the Jack Blumenstock and the Garrett Listeners. The good thing about those guys, which I hope a lot of kids will take an example from, is the reason you mentioned their bodies have changed, and you can see that they look stronger. Then you look at the numbers, and they are stronger. It's because they show up all the time. One of our core values is being loyal, and with loyalty, people who are loyal always show up. Like if you care about somebody, care about the team, you show up. And those guys there's more than just those two, but those guys have been great examples of what showing up consistently does for the kids.
Well, and then you have some kids that's really overcome a lot of adversity in their careers. One is senior Brian Morrison, and the other one I know is Meyer. And Derek Meyer is overcoming a serious injury, and he's back at it, and he's grinding. You talk about those two kids and kind of what how they've overcome some of the adversity they faced.
Yeah, Derek Meyer, he hurt his knee last year. It kind of stung for us because and for him, it was day one of practice when he back last June, and he had one of the fastest knee recoveries I've ever seen. And I think the main reason why is because of his urgency. Like I mentioned the want to earlier, he couldn't stand not playing, so he did everything in his power to what's the next thing I got to do, and he's there doing it. What's the rehab I need to do? I'm there doing it, and he took it full stride, and with a super urgent mindset, said, "How can I get stuff done and get that better faster?" So he's been cool to see that. And Brian has been there. I don't know if he's missed a day yet, really. I really don't think he's missed a day in the weight room, and so he's had some issues with health as well too, and he's able to overcome those because I think it was strength and his physical strength and his mental strength. I mean, that kid can push through anything. So those two guys are another great examples of kids who do things the right way here.
And another thing that's really exciting is you just held your football camp, and oh my gosh, there are some really talented athletic kids coming up in the junior high and the youth levels. And can you talk about those kids, and also they took to coaching. When you were trying to coach them and show them some of the fundamentals, they really took to it and absorbed it.
Yeah. It was we had a blast at camp. Our high school kids helped run it, so it was kind of cool. to have those guys teach the young guys. But those young guys, though, they're awesome. I mean, the future's bright here at Covington, and they, you mentioned the coaching they take. You can tell one thing, and it's done right the next time. And they had a blast. I feel like I've been lucky. I teach 7th grade here at the school, so I've got to know a lot of those kids last year. I come back out this year, so it's kind of nice for me as a coach here to really get to know the kids early on, and I can start building relationships with them, since 7th grade and younger too. So, but it was awesome. I think we had 50-ish kids that were here in the junior high and youth levels, and there is a ton of potential and a ton of really just good people, I think, too. Like guys who would add a ton of value to the program, the culture here at Covington. So I'm really excited for a long time here.
Okay, well, we're going to talk with Senior Brian Morrison next, and then we'll come back and finish up with Coach Morgan on another segment of Bucks Weekly. Okay, we're back with Bucks Weekly with Covington Senior Brian Morrison. Number 24 is a good number, by the way. Glad you were in that number. So Brian, you wrestle, you play football, 2 toughest sports, in high school level, and you've had a lot of issues, medical issues that you've had to overcome. What's your drive to keep you going?
Just to prove that nothing can stop people from doing anything, and me being really small compared to other people and stuff like that. I want to prove that I guess smaller people can do whatever they feel like they can do. You know what I mean?
Okay, so what kind of example do you want to provide for the younger kids? You're a senior leader this year. What example do you want to provide to them that they can carry on throughout the rest of their careers?
I want them to carry on always doing the right thing, just going full go with everything you do, whether it's school and homework, or you playing video games, or you be out in the field or doing any other kind of sports, always just doing the right thing, going full go all the time, whether you're messing up or doing it right, you know what I mean? Just always doing the right thing.
Okay, and what does it mean to you? Here you are, you're senior. High school goes fast.
Right.
You're in your senior year. What does it mean to you to be a Covington Buccaneer?
To be a Buck, always doing the right thing, like I said before, looking out for other people, making sure that you're not only doing your job, but they're also doing their job as well. Just doing the hard things too. Not a lot of people like to do hard things, and being a Buck, you have to. You know what I mean?
Okay, well, hey, good luck. Have a great senior year, buddy.
Thank you.
Yep, take care. Okay, we're back with Bucks Weekly and with Coach Morgan, and let's address your goals for this season.
Yeah, so we kind of, as a team, we've talked a lot about this. It's kind of, what does this group of guys want to get out of the season? And the biggest thing we've talked about really is what we've been saying is becoming us. And what that kind of means is, how can we get this group of guys to become as close as possible? People hear the term brotherhood in football all the time. It's kind of the same kind of concept, where we want, no matter what the adversity is, no matter what the situation is, we have a group of guys who are so tight together, they've become one, and what we say becoming us, becoming one, and that nothing can stop in their way. They can face any adversity, they can face any setbacks that is thrown at them. So that's one of our big goals, is to become us. And our second one is to grow and maximize every day. We use the term maximize, I think, about every day in our program. And to me, what maximize is every kid has a ton of potential in them. And the hard part is getting all that out of them, right? That's the tough part, because it takes a lot of work and a lot of time and a lot of effort and a lot of straining, a lot of discomfort to get that maximized out of them. And that's one of our goals, is to say, at the end of this year, did you maximize not only the player that you are, but the person too? Our core values are work, tough, unselfish, humble, and loyal. And we're looking at, did you become closer to truly believing and buying in those things? And if we do that, I think we're getting kids out of here, going to the real world, that are awesome human beings, and they know how to handle adversity, and they know how to grind and achieve and strain for things that they want in life. Which at the end of the day, football's amazing, but to me that stuff's a lot more important. Watching guys like Brian Morrison go out there and just kill it in the real world because of skills he's learned in football and wrestling and school. That's the good part of coaching, is watching those things. So our goal this year, like I said, is to become us and to maximize our kids as a player and as a person.
Well, it's going to be a very exciting season, watching these kids grow and develop this year, and also in the future years. So the junior high program is thriving. The youth program is thriving. A lot of kids are out there participating. So come out and support the Bucks this year. And that's it for the first segment of Bucks Weekly. And go Bucks.
Go Bucks.